Yeah. Speaking about children, let's move on to another adult child who is speaking about um, her vulnerability when it comes to this particular conversation. Now, we've all seen that, King Kaka and Nana had an interesting thing that was going on. In case you don't know, they were able to launch, I think, their first, King Kaka's first movie, so to speak. I think I'm going to call it a movie. So it was premiering about last week, and it's called Kamtupe. But during this whole process, Nana seemed a little sad. She seemed like she was in her fields, and it was very confusing for people to look at, because you're like, wait, you're supposed to be excited. Your husband just premiered something, and guys are loving it. It's very confusing for a lot of people because they're sharing. It's a lot of sharing. The sharing is sharing, but it's still such a beautiful, thing that they've been able to create, and now is being put out there, and a lot of people are celebrating it. But during this whole process, Nana seemed a little sad on Friday, as it was being premiered, and this is the reason why. She said on her post, she said, on Friday, the same day Kamtupe was premiering, marked 15 years since her departure. Her being her mother, her late mother. It was a big day for King, so we chose to smile through it all, and also we've come to just embrace it as a celebration of life, of course. There are hard days. Yes, I cried that morning before, because grief is love, really. All the love you want to give, but you cannot. And the grieving can't ever stop. Grief is about acceptance and successful absorption. You can't just finish grieving. You can't move on from grief. Instead, you endure, and you learn to live with the absence of the of the physical, and memories become the only thing that you can hold on to. And as she's saying all of these things, I'm just like, honey, I understand. I don't know how to explain this to anyone who hasn't lost a parent, especially a parent or a very close sibling. Like, a person who's lost someone significantly close to them would understand where you're coming from. And even in that understanding, it's not identical. No one grieves the same way, but we end up having the same symptoms. And let me tell you, it's really funny how it comes out. So the other day, I think it was last weekend, we were just chilling in the house, and we were like, you know what, let's watch the new Kingsman 2. And as the movie begins, the mother of the young boy is shot, and she just literally died as the child was watching. So there was a whole thing that was going on, and the mother was shot, and she died. And I genuinely cannot tell you that I have ever cried at a movie when I saw someone's mother die. But I'm not gonna lie, I just started crying, and I was bawling. And my partner is now looking at me like, what in the world is going on? Like, the movie just started. Why are you crying? What's wrong? And then this memory of a very particular thing that happened during the day that she passed on then came up. And now I'm retelling it, and I am bawling. And that's the funny thing. Look at me now. There are no tears in sight. But on that day, you could not hold me. My eyes were puffy the next day because of how much I cried. I don't know how to explain this to you. It is weird. It is strange. It happens in the weirdest times. It happens in the weirdest ways. Sometimes it's an interesting memory that makes you laugh. Sometimes it's an interesting memory that makes you cry. It just is what it is. But it is such a beautiful thing that even still, with this mixture of emotions that were happening or was happening inside her, she still was able to put on this brave face for her man. She still was over there ready to, like, go forth and seize this day and support her man in any way possible. What a beautiful story. You miss love, or you lose love, and you find another person who can love you just enough, if not more, than what you have. And yes, it's not the same. It will never fill that hole inside you, but it just feels just a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Nana
I do.
Owiti, I'm like, girl, big girl, I love it. I love it for you.
Hey, there's something she said that was, it hit me hard. She said that grief doesn't end.
It really never does.
Grief is just you loving somebody, but the love you have for them cannot reach them, so you're left with all of this love that you cannot give the person you want to love. And that was so tragic. It was so beautiful at the same time. But look at this babe. Look at this babe. Yani, she's just goals. And congratulations on your new film. Why did we not get an invite though?
It's okay.
Why did you not get an invite? But don't worry, we will support, okay? We're going to go watch it,
We
okay?
will,
And we're going to film it so that you guys don't say it's bad blood, okay?
We will.
And I love to see like the upcoming, you know, thing with Kenyan film these days, you know, from then being put on the N network and it's Netflix. From then, you know, like Kenyan film is going far and I love it for them. You know, the places we've come from, tumetoka mbali. We used to be worse than Nollywood. We have come from far. So to see the quality of work that is being put out by Kenyan filmmakers and Kenyan actors and actresses, yo, I am impressed. And now some of them are in South Africa, like doing the most, you know. We love to see it. Keep up the good work.